global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Nigerians were very surprised over the verdicts given by appeal court in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where he was discharged, though they said not acquitted, but he was discharged. And Nigerians were like, this is way to go. This is how it should be. Justice denied eventually has gotten the right justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have gotten the right justice. But alas, we have not heard the last of this verdict and the justices involved in this matter. In a moment, you're going to find out what their fate looks like. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. If you see a bell notification icon, please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the three justices that sat on the Court of Appeal panel that squashed the 15 counts terrorism charge the federal government preferred against the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, that's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have been transferred from their various divisions. Investigations revealed that the three appellant court justices were transferred 4 days after they delivered the judgment that discharged the embattled indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB leader. Whereas the presiding justice, Jumai Hanatu Sanki, who was hitherto in the Gombe division of the court, has been moved to Oka division. Justice Oludotun Adedokpe Okoji, who delivered the lead judgment, was transferred to Owerri, while the third member of the panel, Justice Ebiowe Tobi, was moved to Gombe. A memo dated October 17, which was signed by the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Dongban Mensem, stressed that the new posting for the justices was with immediate effect, as they were expected to report to their new stations by October 21. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court will on Monday hear the appeal the federal government filed to set aside the judgment that freed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Federal government, in the notice of appeal, which is hinged on 7 grounds, wants the apex court to stay the execution of the judgment the appellant court delivered on October 13. It is, among other things, contending that the appellant court panel erred in law and occasioned a miscarriage of justice when it relied on the manner Kanu was rendition from Kenya to Nigeria after he jumped bail the trial court granted to him in 2017 to squash the entire charge against him. It maintained that the appellant court acted in error by striking out the charge against the IPOB leader on the premise that the trial judge no longer had the jurisdiction to handle the matter. Therefore, the federal government, through the office of the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, is praying the apex court to, in the interim, suspend the execution of the Court of Appeal verdict pending the hearing and determination of its appeal. It will be recalled that the appellant court had, in a unanimous judgment by the 3-man panel of justices, accused the federal government of flagrantly violating all known laws in the way of forcefully rendered Kanu from Kenya to the country for the continuation of his trial. It held that such extraordinary rendition without adherence to due process of the law was a gross violation of all international conventions, treaties, protocols, and guidelines that Nigeria is a signatory to, as well as a breach of the appellant fundamental human rights. More so, the appellant court noted that FG, that's the federal government, failed to refute the allegation that the indigenous people of Biafran leader was in Kenya and that he was abducted and brought back to the country without extradition proceeding. It held that the federal government, FG, was ominously silent on the issue, which it described as very pivotal in determining whether the trial court will still have the jurisdiction to continue with the criminal proceeding before it. The appellant court held that the federal government's action tainted the entire proceeding it initiated, against Kanu and amounted to an abuse of criminal prosecution in general. The court will never shy away from calling the executive to order when it tilts towards executive recklessness. The appellant court held, even as it accused federal government of engaging in serious abuse of power. A lot of Nigerians are not surprised over this matter. They unanimously agreed that since the federal government cannot prove that they did not extraordinary rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they cannot show them the processes or the proceeding of bringing him down to Nigeria, then they cannot, according to the words of Ifeanyi Ejiofor, they cannot benefit on their illegality. And hence they say they don't have the jurisdiction to judge, to hold this hearing in Nigeria. They should at least return him back to where he came from and all that. Now, of course, they said he was discharged and acquitted, which means, but now with them heading to Apex Court, which is the Supreme Court, a lot of Nigerians are expecting fireworks, legal fireworks here. But what came as a surprise to many Nigerians, personally, it didn't come as a surprise to me, because a lot of people applauded the justices, because what the likes of Binta Nyako couldn't do, she didn't do it. She was just dragging, dilly-dallying, not really giving anything until the lead counsel of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I'm talking about senior advocate of Nigeria, Sir Michael Zehume, decided to take it to the appeal court, a higher court, higher than where it was, where Binta Nyako had jurisdiction then to preside. And this was the verdict he got. Okay, and what Binta Nyako was, careful not to do or go against, the three justices sat and they heard it and said, this is our verdict. And 4 days after, they were quietly, gently moved from their various count. Well, some persons will say the history will be kind, or will remember them for the actions they did in this case. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians. This one here saying Malami is not doing well to the justice system. Or how did you know it was Malami that? Well, I don't know if it's Malami that did the transfers, but one thing that is certain, they only transferred them out of that place. They did not demote them. Okay, it doesn't change anything if you ask me for the justices. In as much as when they transfer them to collect their salaries normally. But Gombe, that's the north, and let's hope also that security is not so bad in Gombe on the other side. But I hope and pray, okay, that it doesn't affect the psychology of the justices. They knew what they were up against, and they indeed gave their verdict based on their conscience and their law, the law of the land. That's going to wrap it up. We are going to give you updates and fireworks come Monday as the Supreme Court begins the hearing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. Let's meet in our conversation. What's your take? Have a nice time. God bless you.